Mayor Daley was joined by U.S. Senator Dick Durbin and CTA officials at a recent press conference to announce that work has begun on the first transit project using federal economic stimulus funds. The $87.9 million project will replace more than 7 miles of track in the Blue Line's Dearborn subway to eliminate slow zones and will create 400 local jobs. Here are highlights from the April 20th news conference.
The American Recovery and Reinvestment Act gives every city in the nation many opportunities to create our jobs, improve the quality of life for residents during these very difficult economic times. Combining both the federal support with state economic stimulus package legislation that was passed in Springfield 2 weeks ago, and with our own ongoing investments in the city's infrastructure, we're taking critical steps to help get the local economy moving again. Last month, we announced Chicago's initial plan for investing money we expect to receive from the federal legislation. Today, again, I'm happy to be with our Senator Durbin to announce the start of the work of the first big transit project to be funded by the federal economic stimulus package. It's an $88 million program to replace 7 miles of track on the CTA Blue Line from Division Street to Clinton's Station. Will allow us to continue work to remove and prevent slow zones, which has been a problem over years, and that's a safety issue. We expect the Dearborn subway track replacement project will create over 400 jobs, which will be mostly completed by the end of this year. As riders of the Blue Line know, the CTA is working very hard to remove all the slow zones, and I wanted to thank those customers for their patience. Last year, we did what we could afford to do, and focused on the sections of track that were in the worst shape. The stimulus money allows us to go back in and replace everything we didn't get to replace last year. For the riders of the CTA, that means a faster, safer, and more reliable service. We all know that a modern public transportation system is essential to the future of our state, our region, and our city, and of course our nation. It's vital to the economic security. Our ability to recruit new businesses is vitally important. So the total of about $240 million that the CTA will receive through the federal stimulus program. And again, I want to thank Senator Durbin, who understands cities, towns, villages, and counties all over the state. And he travels all over the state because I've talked to mayors and presidents of county boards who know him personally. And I would say it's both Democrats, Republicans, and Independents. It's amazing on our Metropolitan Mayor Caucus, the relationship that he has with mayors throughout the metropolitan area. It doesn't matter what political party you're in, he is there to service all the residents and citizens of the state of Illinois. And that's why we're really fortunate to have him understand. We don't have to go to Washington with the President Obama and Senator Durbin and talk about public transportation and public schools and infrastructure. He gets it. He understands how important it is to the CTA and to Metro and other public transportation. I really appreciate all the things he's accomplished, and what he's accomplished as a spokesperson on behalf of infrastructure, not only in urban areas, but in rural areas, which are really important in the state of Illinois. Our senior senator, Dick Durbin. Dick,
thanks, Rich.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Mayor Daley, and I want to thank all of you for coming out today. I want to thank Rich Rodriguez, who is here as the CTA president, Alderman Carrie Austin, and Carol Brown, CTA board chairman. If you take a look at this plaque over here, you'll see that this subway station was built about 1950, over a half century ago. And now we have about 133,000 people a day using this Blue Line, about 20,000 using this particular station. Over a half century of wear and tear can leave its mark on great pieces of infrastructure like this CTA station. What Mayor Daley has done is to remember that we just don't take from the past, we need to reinvest. We need to reinvest our public funds into those pieces of infrastructure that serve so many people so well. And President Obama understands this is the moment for public reinvestment. This is a moment to put dollars, extra dollars, back into our public infrastructure, which will create jobs, which we desperately need, create more economic activity, and also leave a lifelong investment that will pay back for years to come. This particular station, again, has been here for 50 years, and we want to make certain that here in the 21st century, we're making an investment in this station. The net result of it, some 400 jobs will be created. 400 jobs right here in America, good paying jobs, and the materials that are going to be used on the rebuilding of the Blue Line are going to be American made as well. Steel is going to come in from Ohio, concrete, railroad ties, all American products going right into the CTA station and subway to make sure that they have the most modern facilities available for those who use it. 3 years ago, there was a tragic derailment. We remember it on the Blue Line. It was investigated at great length, and the number one reason that they noted for the derailment was the poor conditions of the track. What the CTA has been trying to do over these years is maintain what they have. It costs less to do that, but you have to keep doing it over and over again. Now we're going to be able, through President Obama's stimulus package, to make the kind of half-century investment that is needed so that this line will continue to serve so many people so well. It's an honor to be here today. For those who have questioned the stimulus package and wonder where are our taxpayers' dollars going, 40% of that stimulus package went in tax cuts. Tax cuts for 95% of working families across America, and the bulk of the rest of that stimulus package goes into investments. Investments to create good paying jobs right here in America, just like these jobs for the reconstruction of the Blue Line. It's my honor to be here today on behalf of the congressional delegation to salute the mayor for his leadership and to thank him again for pointing out the areas of investment that will make a difference in our future.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll now hear from our chairwoman, Carol Brown.
Well, I again would just like to thank Senator Durbin and Mayor Daley for their continued support and their emphasis on the importance of the investment of infrastructure. The $88 million that's going into the Dearborn subway, the $58 million that from the stimulus package that we're using to buy buses, the $76 million that we're using to do preventive maintenance, all of that is because of the leadership of Mayor Daley and Senator Durbin and President Obama. And we think that it's inspired our state leaders to pass a historic infrastructure bill as well. And so I just want to thank you all for being here. Thank you again for your leadership. And we know we're just starting. And with that, I'd like to introduce my partner, Rich Rodriguez.
Thank everyone for being here today. Replacing ties and track will significantly improve rail service for Blue Line customers and improve reliability. Because the work's being funded by the stimulus money, it has the added benefit of creating jobs to aid the economy, as it's been mentioned here earlier. We thank Blue Line riders in advance for their continued patience. Back in the summer of 2007, the CTA launched an aggressive project to eliminate slow zones that were negatively impacting travel times for riders. With the funds available at the time, CTA targeted areas in a worse condition, and trains on the O'Hare branch were able to resume normal speeds. Now, thanks to these stimulus funds, we can go back to the Blue Line subway and renew all remaining sections of track that are deteriorating and would soon become slow zones. The work will be done on weekends and will result in some service disruptions, but we will keep riders informed of any expected delays and available alternate service. The payoff will be faster trips and more reliable service when the work is completed at the end of this year. With a system as established as a CTA, there's always something that needs repair or refurbishment, and we greatly appreciate the stimulus funding that enables us to do this preventative maintenance work. Although the CTA has an unmet capital need of $6.8 billion to get to a state of good repair, the stimulus money, coupled with the recent state capital funding, are certainly steps in the right direction. It enables us to continue making the progress necessary to improve overall service quality. The right capital investments can decrease operating costs, increase reliability, and improve overall service quality. The CTA appreciates the support provided by Senator Durbin and Mayor Daley to secure the funding that allows CTA to begin to address some of its urgent capital needs. As always, we remain committed to providing service that's on time, clean, safe, and friendly. Thank you.